Okay, I'm not sure if the gameplay is coming through the noise, but I know that the visual is there. So yeah, might as well just start messing around in getting over it. I'm kind of just doing this as a way to kind of see what kind of bugs and things come up when I stream. So I'll just be looking at like the audio, and I'm fairly sure that the game is silent, and eventually I will be able to have the game audio in the stream, but currently it is quiet, and it's kind of just me yapping. What is bro yapping about? I do not know, but I'll probably be mainly just focused on trying to play this game. So anytime there's a long silence, it's probably just because it's me kind of in the zone focusing, or I'm just tired and well, I'm already kind of tired going into this, but I just want to test out the pngtuber thing and my microphone with streaming, because I've had this microphone for a while. Not a while, but a decent enough bit of time, a couple months maybe, and I've used it for the podcast that will be coming out soon, but I didn't use it for anything else other than some voice acting, actually, apart from the podcast and from this, as I mentioned. But so I didn't really use the microphone much, so I guess I'm just testing it out to see how it sounds on stream, because while I was doing like test recordings before this stream, I did like extensive test recordings to try and get the audio right. And I know it's not you can't hear the sound effects and stuff in the game, but that's just because for some reason for OBS for MacBooks you can't it can't naturally capture the audio, so you have to go through this software called Black Hole, and for that you need headphones, and I'm not wearing any right now, and I don't know where mine are currently. So until I get my new PC, which is a Windows PC, which will be maybe the 8th of January by the latest is when it will arrive, I'm assuming, then I will be able to share the audio on the in the game. You'll be able to hear the audio, and also just things will probably run better in terms of performance. Definitely they will in terms of performance, because it's gonna have 32 gigabytes of RAM, which I'm really happy about, because I've only ever had computers, well, laptops up until this point, that have had a maximum of 8 gigabytes of RAM, so 32 gigabytes of RAM is more than enough to do all sorts of brick filming, filmmaking, editing, gaming, and what have you. So I'm really looking forward to getting to use that PC, and it's got a pretty cool graphics card too, I think. I won't get into that kind of computer part stuff because by the way, whenever I stop moving, it's probably because I'm checking the chat on my phone because I don't have it up on my computer. But yeah, it's yeah, I don't actually know much about PC parts and all that. I just know that the parts that I have are good, basically. And that might, well, I know about RAM. That's kind of the only part of the PC that I'm familiar with, as well as like the motherboard, the just because of like I think SpongeBob probably with like Karen and stuff. There was like a joke that Plankton was talking about her motherboard or something. I don't know. But yeah, that part of a computer in particular always, oh, that part of a computer of a computer always stuck in my mind, I guess. And it's also just like the main component to what makes a computer work, I guess. I mean, again, I don't know much about computers, but from what I do know, I know that the motherboard is pretty important. But yeah, definitely, it'll be an upgrade. This PC that I'm getting from what I'm currently using, which is the a 2020 MacBook M1, which is still like it's a pretty decent computer. So like I was actually for a while debating whether or not it's even worth getting any kind of new computer, but then I thought about it more and like this computer's I only got it like maybe a couple of years ago or less, so I feel like its shelf life is drastically lower than the other PC. And the other thing, oh man, almost fell back down to the start. But the other thing too about this computer is I have to keep deleting everything off of it. Just checking the chat again, but yeah, I had to keep deleting things off of the computer because of system storage. So I sprung for 2 terabytes of storage of SSD for my new PC that's currently probably being built. Well, it's in the process of being built, I believe. I'm not one to build my own PC, mainly because of my limited energy, but also my inability to do a good job at building a PC when I know nothing about PCs. Like as you could probably tell, except for like a few parts that I know are kind of crucial to the PC. And that noise was just me drinking some water because I have a bottle that has like a straw-like piece to it. It's like a plastic bottle, and it makes a bit of a squeaky noise every time I go to take a drink of water. And the microphone's like pretty close to my face, so it would be easy for the mic to pick it up. But I think the difference between the mic I have now, that I'm using the SM7B, which I know is like everybody's go-to microphone for podcasting and stuff like that. But oh man, almost had that. I've never actually gotten past these boxes, but Yeah, but the SM7B is like the staple podcast microphone now. Everyone gets one when they decide to start a podcast. It is kind of like the meme. But looking into them, I just became obsessed with the quality and like the sound of them. I just really wanted to get one, so it wasn't until I actually ordered one, waited for one to arrive, and then unpackaged it, and then looked up like a setup tutorial type thing, and also like a video on how to get the best possible audio that you can from it. Because I know in the past I've had the Blue Snowball, which picks up on every little piece of background noise possible. Not to be confused with the Blue Snowball Ice, which is the more expensive Blue Snowball, which I believe has more, you have more control over whether or not it's like stereo or mono. I know more about microphones than I do computers, I'll say that much. But I feel like it just comes with having too much free time, but also I guess running a podcast, and paying more attention to the fine details of audio than someone normally would when creating a video or a piece of media. But that's not to say that people don't forgot what I was saying. That happens sometimes, and it's gonna happen, so apologies in advance. I kind of, on my podcast that I do sound a lot more put together than I actually am, and it's just because of editing. Editing is really the key. First chat here, I'll have a quick read of it. Hello, sorry for bothering you. I want to offer promotion of your channel, viewers, followers, views, chat, bots, etc. The price is lower than any competitor. The quality is guaranteed to be the best. Flexible and convenient. Order management panel, chat panel. Everything is in your hands. Turn it on, off, customize. Okay, anyways, I probably shouldn't have said the last bit there. I guess, yeah, I'm good, thanks. I only am doing this just as a test and for fun. So I don't really, like, I'm not putting all of my money into Twitch in particular. Although I guess when I get my PC, I'll feel more, I guess, obligated to stream more. And I also have more energy to be able to do that. And it's so much more, I talk about it on the podcast that's coming out, but I'll say it again. Having different creative outlets that you can tap into is great for escaping from the ones that are currently stressing you out. Like for me, it was the podcast and stuff. When it kind of got to me, the stress of having to not having to, but I put myself obviously in the position to interview people and stuff. But I guess the stress of the physical stress that was taking on my body to have to put it into just to give context, I do have a chronic illness, so my energy is physically limited. So even having a conversation before was very difficult for me. So it just takes a lot of energy out of me to converse, and doing a podcast and interviewing people, you know, and trying to keep that up regularly is or was like a regular upload schedule and a reliable one isn't something that I can really rely upon because of my energy and everything fluctuating. So as well as a stream schedule, like I'd like to have a stream schedule, but I know that that's not possible. Or I'd like to have a podcast upload schedule. Oh man. I'd like to have a podcast upload schedule, but I know that that's not possible either. Like a regular upload schedule. But I do say it in the new upcoming episode of the podcast, but it is kind of more semi-regularly than regular at this point, because I kind of only do them when I feel like there's either a reason to, or I have the energy and the passion there. And that's not to say that I would have energy and no passion, because I feel like I always have the passion but never the energy, and it's trying to find the physical energy to line up with my ambitions and my passion that for like creating that is the difficult thing to deal with. And I'm sure other people with chronic illnesses can relate. That kind of feeds into everything in your life with an illness, you know, like having ambition to want to even like if you don't really think about it until you can't physically do it, but if you think about like subconsciously wanting to like walk to the kitchen from your bedroom, right? And if you're physically unwell and not really able to get out of bed, then when that subconscious thought pops into your head that like you kind of need to go into the kitchen and get some food or whatever, it becomes a more conscious realization that you can't do that, and then your body's kind of fighting against its own instincts to try and, because it can't physically move, but you also have this thing of like, I guess maybe fight or flight in a way, where it's like, if I don't go into the kitchen and get food, how am I supposed to eat? But luckily I haven't been in a kitchen in a very long time. But luckily I have my parents and stuff that help care for me and whatnot. But yeah, it's I guess it does spread into creativity as well, like I was saying, where you have this, at least for me, I have a lot of creative ambition that I can't spread because of physical limitations, and I explore that more in the podcast that I did. But I feel like I recorded for 2.5 hours, and maybe you can tell based off the difference between the podcast and me talking now, but I cut out a lot of ums and uhs and pauses between my words, because I speak with a lot of pauses in between my words, and I just cut all of that out to sound more normal and not robotic. Yes, I did that on purpose. Launching myself like that. But anyways, I'm gonna check the chat real quick. Okay. That was me checking the chat. But yeah, I forgot what I was saying. Like I said, that's just something that's gonna happen. Sometimes it comes back into my head, and then other times it's just gone. And that's Oh yeah, so the 2.5 hour podcast, I recorded 2.5 hours of audio and edited it down to an hour 15 minutes, and that's not just because of editing out all the pauses and uhs and ums meticulously for hours and hours on end. It's also because of editing out when I felt like I was oversharing and saying things that weren't really necessary or in bad faith, or things that I didn't know the full context around. And I'm not saying that I said anything like career ending or anything like that. Like I would never intentionally go at a podcast with malice or anything like that. It just, I guess, when I listened back to a lot of what I was saying, it was either oversharing personal issues, or it just rubbed me the wrong way in how it sounded, as opposed to how I wanted it to come across and what my actual point was. But yeah, generally I'm excited to be able to stream again, because I think the last time I would have streamed would have been 2020, July 2020, I believe, with my sister Neve. Oh, that rhymed. Or it's Cherry Pie, as some of you may know her by, but go follow her on Twitch as well. You can find her Twitch through my Twitch. If you click on my account, you'll probably find it's Cherry Pie on my thing. But yeah, but forgot what I was saying. Oh, the last time I streamed was July 2020, and stuff hit the fan since then that stopped me from streaming, as I've mentioned before, but haven't gone into the full extent of things before, which I probably won't. That's not really something that I need to discuss on this platform. Not that I have much of a platform, but just from what I have within the Lego and brick filming community, I don't want to fill it with my trauma and my. I don't want to be seen as the sick guy, like the chronic, like. I guess it's fine if people know that I'm sick and whatever, but I don't want to be perceived as any different than anyone else just because I'm unwell and within certain limitations. Like, everybody has their physical limits, right? But I feel like mine are definitely a lot more extreme and scary than your average Joe. Finally, jeepers. I feel like once I get to this part of the game, like, I know there's a huge ways to go for the rest of the game, and I haven't even gotten past the boxes up a bit further up, but something about this part here is just very relaxing to me, because I don't know, it just it feels as though I can't really fail at this bit. Like, I've done this bit loads of times, and or not loads of times, but like a handful of times. And see, like, even falling down here, it's like I barely even fell much, and it's very easy to get back up. You just gotta do it in the precise, exact right way, and it's kind of just based off of luck, which maybe is why I feel less pressure, because it's not on me if I, for the most part, if I fall back down to the bottom for this bit in particular. I'm not saying for it not fall back down to the bottom like the start of the map, but just this part here with this container of sorts. I'm gonna check the chat again. Sorry if I just made weird mouth noises into the microphone, which reminds me of another thing about podcasting that not a lot of people. I just made more mouth sounds. That's that's the difference between streaming and podcasting. Is not a lot of people would really think about it, I guess, if they're not more mouth sounds. But anyways, I'm just more conscious of it, more self-conscious about it now that I've noticed that I won't be able to edit it out in a stream. But yeah, just you can edit out like the clicks that your mouth makes in voice acting recordings, and that was close. In voice acting recordings and in podcasts, but you can't do that live. You just kind of have to hope that you don't make that many mouth noises. Which is kind of unreasonable. I feel like I make a lot of like click sounds from, I think it comes from like the way my teeth are kind of shaped. It just kind of creates this crater in my like under my like in the under part of my mouth, if that makes sense. I don't know, like under my tongue, and then it kind of creates these little bubbles of saliva, which sounds gross, but then the tongue kind of hits against the saliva bubbles and keeps popping them, and then that creates the clicking noise, that the mouth noise that you can hear at the moment. I should really utilize my drawing tablet more. I just realized, because I could use it as like a second monitor to keep the chat within my field of view, because I'm using my phone as I'm using the torch on my phone as well as using it to look at the live chat, and it's it just kind of means that I have to like I don't oh man, I don't have it within my my eye line when I'm just kind of glancing glancing at the chat. I might as well tweet out that I'm live, or yeah, I guess I'll tweet it. Because if I don't have the energy a different time, accept your cookies, sir. Yeah, if I don't have the energy to stream a different time, then I probably won't have then I won't be able to stream, so might as well let people know. Alright, I'm back. The stream's still playing on my computer. One sec. Okay. I just had to open it to get the link, but I'm back now. Yeah, I was just posting about it online and all, but I'm saying but because I got a bit getting a bit distracted. Okay, back to getting over it. Yeah, earlier I turned off my screen because I realized that I was showing instead of just having one window capture being on, I had to use that for the PNG guy that you can see on the screen. So I the Yappin Lego Man, my sig fig, but so I had to use display capture as like the way to capture the gameplay that I'm about to play and was playing. But it meant that when I went to promote it using the computer, I forgot that people could see my screen when I went into Google and stuff. So there was nothing bad there or anything. Just yeah, you don't. I personally don't like people seeing my Google layout and stuff unless I'm confident that there's nothing that like is there that'll get me in trouble or anything. And also just if weird results pop up or whatever, you don't want that on stream. Sorry, that was just my water bottle. It's gonna make noises throughout throughout this stream because it's got a straw in it, and yeah, it just makes noises. But anyways, back to. Oh, now I remember what I was supposed to do. That's another thing too. My memory is not great, so I kind of just go from one thing to the next very fast when talking or when doing something. Oh, that's why my volume was turned down. But yeah, anyway, back to the game finally. Oh yeah, mad thing that happened. Well, okay, well, at least I can say that I'm definitely at the start of the game for the stream, so we can experience the whole thing together. Apart from like that little initial start bit and the narrator yapping. What was bro yapping about? I do not know, but I do like the I wanted to play this game for a very long time since it's like explosion online in like 2017. I've wanted to play this game, but I never really had the financial means to get it. And with the winter sale on Steam, it was only like less than €3, so I copped that bad boy, and for the last 3 days I have been playing it, and well, this is day 3, and as you can see, I've made so much progress already. It's crazy. But I actually have, in the sense that I am more well versed with the. I don't know if it's copium, but I feel like I'm more, because I spent so much time on this part of the game. I feel like I'm more well versed in how to get through it quicker, so I'm not really as phased when I fall back down to the start, because I mean, I'm obviously not doing it right now very well, but you know, once I get in like flow state, I can do it pretty quickly. And I feel like too, it's I wanted to start playing this game because I feel like it gives you it gives you a special kind of challenge in which you really can test your patience with it. And I feel like as an animator or aspiring animator, um, I don't know if I can call myself an animator because I'm not doing it professionally, but I guess, you know, if I animate things, that does make me an animator. But yeah, for someone who's doing stop motion animation and stuff, I feel like you have to have a good bit of patience to be able to do that. Um, or at least that's what I'm told. So, um, like that's what other people say to me when I tell them I do stop motion, is like, oh, you must be so patient. I wouldn't have the patience. And I'm always just like confused, because I feel like I never really understand why it's not like an inherent thing that everyone doesn't really have the same, like why isn't everyone conditioned to have the same level of patience, you know? Like it's, I get why, like scientifically and all that, but like it would be nice if people were more patient, I guess. And I guess I'm just trying to better my understanding of my own patience through this game, which will in turn maybe better my my understanding of animation, or my approach to animating. And I feel like, you know, my patience, my tolerance for like patience and whatnot has grown because of personal stuff that I feel like I've had to just overcome different things over and over again, and then just kind of wait and see if just had to kind of wait and see if, you know, things would get better. So I had to have patience for that, and I feel like if you can have enough patience for that, you can have enough patience to finish this game. So that's the challenge that I've set for myself. So it's been a bit of a yeah, I don't know if it's good or bad. I was thinking about this while I was playing this yesterday and the day before, but like I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing to have like such a nonchalant kind of response to this game that like I have had, because I watched a few videos. Well, back in the day I would have watched tons of videos of people like rage quitting and stuff at this game, but the other day I watched some videos on it, Video Game Donkey's video in particular, and he didn't get very far in the game, but he also rage quit pretty quick. But I get it's like you have to play it up for the audience, right? Like I'm not gonna do that here because I just want to yap. I feel like, or just talk, for those not familiar with the lingo. But yeah, I just like hearing. It sounds really stupid, but I feel like someone who has a podcast, you kind of expect it that they like hearing themselves talk. But I do like just hearing my thoughts out loud most of the time. Well, sometimes. I mean, not all the time. If every thought that I had was out loud, that would kind of suck. But also, if it seems like I'm neglecting the chat at all, it's just because I can't see it in my immediate view, because I have it on my phone, and my my torch light is on my phone, so I have to have my phone upside down so that I can see my surroundings, just because if I was to put my ceiling light on in this room, it would be too bright for my photophobia. So, little tidbit of information for you there. That's the other thing too. I feel like, I don't know, is it oversharing to say I feel like I overshare? But I feel like I do a lot in podcasts and in general when I'm on, like, with my presence online. But I feel like I just like being an open book, and I don't like when people get the wrong impression of me or my ethics or intentions or anything. So I prefer to just leave everything out open on the table, kind of thing. So I just kind of yap about whatever's going on personally. Not like I wouldn't compromise anybody or share anything that someone else wasn't comfortable with me sharing or anything like that. Like there's definitely a lot of stuff that's happened this year that I have kept to myself, and in terms of in general, but also just in terms of online presence. I haven't shared like half of the stuff that I've experienced. So I feel like when I talk about my chronic illness, it's it's raising awareness, I feel like, so it's justifiable in yapping about. Well, I guess it's less so yapping when it's informative. It's more so informative yapping. But yeah, I hope to do more of these streams when I get my new PC. I was really going back and forth. I was gonna get to it earlier and then I forgot, but I was really going back and forth between whether or not I should get a new PC or not, because the one that I have, it is a laptop, and I've only ever had laptops before, and yes, that does mean I'm playing on a trackpad, playing this game on a trackpad, but I feel like with the trackpad you have more control because you're using your finger rather than your whole hand, so you have more precise movement. At least that's how I justify it to myself. But when I get my PC, I'll have a mouse and keyboard, and monitor and all that, instead of just a laptop, because I've only ever had laptops before. Well, I guess this is a MacBook, but the laptop before this MacBook was a laptop, like a HP laptop. It also, after a few years, just stopped working. Like, it took half an hour for it to turn on, and it still has all my old like project files and stuff for like 2020 brick films and podcasts and home movies and stuff that I made with my siblings, and like raw footage and stuff like that. Like, it has a bunch of photos and all kinds of stuff, so I hope I can get the hard drive off it. But yeah, I upgraded to this MacBook for a number of reasons back in 2021 or 2022, maybe like late 2021. Oh, that was close. But just because I needed a new laptop, and I also thought, it's time for me to start trying to make things on a computer again. So because at the time I wasn't really able to. Well, before then I wasn't really able to, and I guess at the time I wasn't able to much, but by the time I was able to, I had the MacBook readily available to do so. So Oh my gosh. Oh man. That's about the extent to which I feel like my reactions are gonna be, unless it's I get really far and fall all the way back to the start. Like I still don't feel like I'm getting very far in this game. I feel like I'm only getting like to just the starting line and then back to the very start again. Um, so I feel like I'm not even like I'm not really bothered by falling down because I still feel like I'm only at the start of the game. But on the other end of things, if I didn't keep falling down and kept going, I could have been way further along by now. Because I think I've got more than 20 hours put into this game in the past 3 days. Um, and it's addicting. Like, I was losing sleep because I was playing this, and I was like, oh, I'll just get back to where I was, and then I'll go to sleep, and then I'd keep falling back down. And yeah, it's an addicting game, man. Um, but yeah, so the laptop thing, I also realized I was talking about. Oh no, I finished that thought. Okay, so yeah, the laptop. I was debating whether or not it's worth getting a PC because one, as you'll come to find out in the upcoming podcast episode, if you listen to my podcast, um, I do have a physically limited amount of space to do things, and that kind of leads to the brick films and the sets and stuff not being as extravagant as I would like them to be. And it also means that, like, logistically, where am I going to put a computer? Like, a laptop is easy because this is a 13.3-inch screen, and it's fairly small and compact. Like, it's basically like an iPad Pro type size. I think it's like the size of the biggest iPad. I'd imagine. So it's like small enough where it fits on my table, but it also its RAM is gonna be, and its SSD is gonna be, it's gonna really wreck my ability to to make things and to preserve those things that I make. So I decided to go for the upgrade, which will be coming the 8th of January, I believe. So yeah, and I already said it kind of earlier, but instead of building something myself, like a PC myself, I am entrusting it in the hands of a company that does it for people, because I am not qualified nearly enough to even attempt to screw anything in or tighten any bolts. So let alone figure out how to put a bunch of pieces of a computer together and figure out what they're supposed to do. So yeah, I'll leave that to the professionals. And so yeah, that's my long-winded way of saying I'm getting a pre-built PC. But I did get to choose all the individual parts that would be put in, even though I mostly went with the ones that were pre chosen, to just because they are kind of the best quality ones for that specific build. But in terms of like SSD and stuff, that was kind of the main thing that I changed. It was like a terabyte, and I just Oh man, it was 1 terabyte of storage initially, and I thought that won't be enough for all of my stuff. So for like my videos and stuff, because I have hours of podcast stuff to edit, and then or I would have I had to delete it all because of storage and stuff. But it means that I don't have the unedited podcasts, unedited, like the uncut versions, which is a shame. And well, I don't have any of my podcasts saved anymore, except for the one that I'm releasing on the 31st, even though I've scheduled it to upload. And in theory, if I was to delete it, it would be fine and still upload. But I just, to be safe, once it's up, oh man, once it's uploaded, I'm going to delete it off the computer, because then I have more space for another podcast. But just knowing that I can like use a computer and not worry about the SSD getting too full, that'll be a nice feeling, a nice change of pace. And the RAM as well, 32 gigabytes. Oh my goodness, I cannot wait to have such high RAM finally. And also, Windows, hot take, better than Mac OS. I'm sorry, but you know, it is. I've been a user of both, or I've used both for. I used Windows up until I got this MacBook a couple of years ago. I got it in, I got it in 2021, and it just doesn't have, Apple doesn't have as many softwares and stuff that are available to use with it, to use with Mac OS as Windows. Like there are different AI softwares and stuff, like the one that animators not really, they don't use them, but they critique them, I guess. The one where you can put AI keyframes in between your actual frames of animation to make it look smoother, quote unquote. But it actually just doesn't necessarily make things look smoother, it just makes things look a bit weirder. But I wanted to try it out because I saw NetBricks, shout out NetBricks, he makes some great animations. But I saw him make a video where he did AI generated, almost essentially AI generated animations from like he would have done 12ps animations in 12ps, and then doubled that to 24 fps with the AI, and then brought it up to, I think it was 60 fps after that, to see what it would look like. And like, it does look impressive, so I did want to try it with some of my old stuff and some of my new stuff too, just to see what it would be like. But then he said at the end of the video, like, something that's unfortunately all too familiar for me as a Mac user. He said, yeah, it's not available on Mac, it's only available for like Windows and stuff, and I guess maybe Linux, I don't know. I'm paraphrasing what he said, but basically what I took away from it is it's not available for Mac OS. And I was just like, oh man, that's disappointing. So it's just little things like that, and also Fortnite too. I wanted to play Fortnite on this MacBook a while back, and Valorant as well. And yeah, there are a lot of games like battle royale games, free games, that just aren't available on Mac anymore. Um, Especially with the M1 and M2 chips that they brought out. Like they got rid of the Intel chips, which I thought would like it's. I would say all in all, if I was able to play those games, that they would perform fairly well on this MacBook, which is a shame because it's kind of like wasted potential, you know? Like, you have this M1 chip that's supposed to be like super powerful or whatever, or really good in whatever way. I don't know much about computers, but I do know that it's not an Intel chip. It's like its own Apple's own thing that they've started to implement with oh man, with this laptop in particular. um are you an AI bot? I am not an AI bot. I am using I just sound very very robotic. I apologize. um I'm using a software called PNG, or not PNG. It's like VOTube or something. It's, I guess I could pull it up and show the skeleton of the operation. Um, so this is like the little guy here. You can see he's moving up and down as I speak, and this is the software here. I need glasses, so I'm gonna zoom in, but VODtube Mini. It's great for PNG tubers. If you're a PNG tuber, but yeah, I probably do sound like an AI bot when I speak, because my voice is kind of just generally kind of hoarse, and I also pause a lot between words, and then oh no, my little guy just disappeared because I closed the software. But he'll be back in a second. But yeah, I forgot that what was I talking about? I got distracted by the little guy. But yeah, I forget things, and that leads to me sounding like a robot, that or an AI bot that would just be like given a prompt to like auto generate conversation, or like what it thinks conversation would be like, but it's just brain fog. Um, so no, I'm not to answer your question. I'm not AI. But you know, in my that it's actually what I was talking about earlier too with my podcast. I'm able to sound a lot more put together when I edit my audio and stuff. Like I'm not really necessarily made for the streaming game just yet, because I still haven't trained my brain to stop saying and pausing between words and all that. But I do feel like I have a lot that I can just yap about, you know, and that's what I feel like a lot of big streamers, that's all you really need, is a game, and just stuff to yap about. Because that's what I find entertaining, is like people who like my a friend of mine who does Twitch streams. They're fairly entertaining because it's just like stream of consciousness talking about random stuff while playing a game, or whatever game he'd be playing, and yeah, kind of like this, except it's he's got more of a better way of articulating himself than I do, I guess. But yeah, his streams are always fun because he's got a great way of like keeping the audience's attention and everything, and the stuff that he talks about is genuinely interesting too. So shout out Witty Janter if you want to check out his Twitch. Yeah, I still can't believe that I forgot that I was sharing my entire screen when I went to share around the Twitch stream. But anyways, you live and you learn. I won't make that mistake again. But again, there wasn't anything bad on the screen or anything. Just checking the chat, but yeah, it's still only that one message. Are you an AI bot? But no, I'm a person. But yeah, how's it going? I don't know what I'm supposed to really say. I'm a bit rusty when it comes to on the spot streaming and stuff like that. Ooh, sorry, that was just my water bottle making noises. But yeah, I'm a bit like I was saying, rusty when it comes to, much like this container. I'm rusty when it comes to live performing, I guess, because I feel like I can, put this kind of charade on when I not perform, but like record podcasts. I can edit them to sound more like they're better articulating my point without all the pauses and ums and uhs in between and sounding like an AI bot. So doing a stream like this is very it's not uncharted territory, but given the context of like my own personal history, it kind of is, because I haven't streamed in like 3 years. And I'm not particularly used to just kind of, well, I'm used to just talking, like, it sounds mad, but I am used to talking to myself about just random stuff to keep myself entertained, because that's just kind of what you have to do sometimes. And if you don't find yourself entertaining, like, or what you're talking about engaging, then is anyone else, but also, if you're entertaining yourself, does it really matter if you're entertaining anyone else? I guess if you're a Twitch streamer or trying to make it as a Twitch streamer, but I'm not particularly worried about viewership or anything, or clicks or anything. I do think it's fun to like, I spread it around on Twitter and Instagram though, because I do think it's fun to engage with the community of people that watch my videos and see familiar names in the chat and whatnot, and just hang out and chat about stuff. And I do also inflate things. Like, I'm not trying to like make people think that I'm like, different because I I don't think about fame or fortune, but I often do inflate in my head how things will actually turn out. Like anytime I upload a video, I think this is the one, it's gonna go viral, and then it only gets like a few hundred views or something, which isn't bad for my standards. That's like pretty good. And I've learned to kind of accept that, like within my own, or I'm learning to accept that within my own, within what is considered good within my own view count, that's not bad, and I'm pretty happy when a video does it gets those kind of numbers, because some don't, and it is kind of saddening to see that I put energy into something and it's like, it kind of feels like nobody cares. Sometimes when, especially with the podcasts, when they get like barely any views, it feels like I'm kind of just like the solo episodes, it feels like I'm talking to a brick wall or something. But yeah, the episodes where I interview people though are more worth it, I feel like, because not that the other ones, the solo episodes, aren't fun, but I do think the interviews I get more enjoyment out of just interacting with people, and learning about different people's life experiences when it comes to Lego and stuff, and how Lego fits into their life, I guess. And it also, starting the podcast led me to meet new friends that I'm now really close with. What the heck was that? Oh, there's some chats, some people in the chat. Oh, it was a stream alert. I apologize. Thank you, James, for the follow. How's it going? Are you playing the game in the background, or is it just footage? Yeah, I'm actively playing it, which is why I'm not really paying attention to the chat, because my phone is separate to the to what I can see. Like I can't see the chat on my screen, so I have to pick up my phone every time I look at the chat. It's gutting. I've done loads of pods, some solid content, and they only get 5 views, but I continue because I find it fun. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it can be pretty frustrating when people don't. I just bumped the mic there, but when people don't, when you feel like you're not being appreciated or compensated for the work that you actually put into something, it can be pretty devastating, because I spend hours editing any given podcast, and or would spend hours, and yeah, it just kind of sucks sometimes when you only get like 30 views or something on a podcast. But I recently saw a thing that kind of recontextualized the way I think about podcasts in terms of like their performance, and it was actually from watching another podcast. He's an AI bot. No, lol. I'm not an AI bot. I told you this already, Zelda Vania. I'm not an AI bot. Yeah. Anyway, I know I do sound like an AI bot, but I'm not. New insecurity unlocked, though. Thank you very much. Yeah, um, oh man. Generating response. That's, yeah, AI has become so advanced to the point where it's like competing with the potentially neurodivergent people. Um, wow, that's so funny. I've been friends for a few years. He's real. Uh, Generating response. Oh man, unless I've been hallucinating like Fight Club. I watched Fight Club for the first time recently. Actually, pretty good movie. Yeah, I did. I already kind of knew the twist that was coming at the end. Which did make it kind of, I don't know, did it make it worse or better? But I feel like it definitely oh man, that was but yeah, it definitely um yeah, I watched it like maybe a month ago, 2 months ago, and yeah, going into it knowing not necessarily how it ends, but the general twist that happens, that kind of changes the course of the third act of the movie. Um, and also just kind of like they subtly hint at it throughout the movie, so it's fun to pick up on it before even having seen the movie for the first time. But I feel like to have seen the movie and then go back and watch it and pick up on that stuff is more fun, maybe, because it's kind of like a rite of passage of like, oh, I've been hit with the trickery before, and now I'm coming back to see from a newfound perspective what it's like. Um, okay, this is a big, something's playing in the background. I think. Oh no, that's just the noise that the game makes near the slide. I also forgot to mention. Oh man, I I can't get past that part. This bit is the bit that I've been stuck at for the past like day and a half maybe. Um, Class film. Yeah, it's a great movie. Um, Still fun though. I had to watch it twice. Yeah, yeah. I think watching it like the first time going in blind is probably the best way to watch any movie really, and then going back and appreciating the subtlety and the different kind of nuance to it is a lot of fun as well. Um, Quite funny with Meatloaf as the man with. Oh yeah, that was a bit of a that was something I didn't really think about when it came to uh like men's hormones and stuff, like when like the reason that you have those, like you don't develop uh big man boobs like your man in the movie, um basically. But yeah, it was that was an interesting detail that they had in the movie. um Sorry if I'm not keeping up with the chat very much, by the way. It's pretty cool how you have your sig fig talking. Was it hard to set up? Not really. I wanted to do it for a while. It's PNG tubing, kind of like VTubers, the way they have their like animated model that follows their face, except this one's kind of voice activated, um, or I guess sound based. So if it like if your microphone passes a certain threshold, uh, the software that really only took like a few minutes to set up. The main I feel like the hardest part about it is just getting I'll pause this, but is just getting the actual like PNG to use, like deciding what picture you want to use uh in the first place. But luckily I had the animation where I had my mouth or my sig fig's mouth open and closed uh in similar enough positions, so I was able to remove the background and stuff. Um, but yeah, I think uh, lost my train of thought again. But uh, yeah, PNGs. It's mainly like hand drawn 2D PNGs that people use, and I was debating making one first, but then I thought, I can just kind of put my own twist on it and have my Lego guy talking instead. And it seems to be working pretty well, I think, with the software, because you can put kind of any picture you want in, and it'll use it. Uh, Bad luck, bro. Yeah, I've been stuck on this part for quite a while. Yeah. I'm assuming that's what that was in response to. I'm really bad at reading the chat, but the Matrix was better on rewatch. Lol. I haven't seen all of the Matrix yet, but uh, yeah, I've never actually seen the full movie, but I've seen. I at one point did mean to watch the full movie and then just never got to finishing it. But yeah, at some point I should actually watch it. I guess the first watch is quite interesting with how confusing it is. True, true. Yeah, I was thinking when I was watching Fight Club for the first time, or just the only time that I watched it, I was thinking like this would be really weird if you didn't know the full context that they only give at the end. Um, oh yes, it was sad that his character went through that. Um, Not sure what that's in reference to, because I'm not very responsive to the chat, but went through that. But yeah, but I just found it funny when he had Ed Norton's head up against. Oh yeah, oh that yeah yeah. Yeah, that was kind of funny. Yeah. It's so odd that Ed's character went to the man's meeting for survivors of testicular cancer, wasn't it? Yeah, I thought that was weird. Um, I thought it was a good way of establishing that he's already kind of a bit of a twisted guy, and that we shouldn't really be rooting for him from the start. Um, because then it's kind of like that he's the unreliable narrator in the story. Um, so I thought it was kind of an interesting kind of thing, kind of like in Joker, the way before he even like fully becomes the Joker, he's still a little bit odd and creepy. Um, kind of like similar to that, I guess. Um, but I think he just wants people around who feel how he feels. Yeah, that's also a valid point too. At like to try and find, I guess back then in the was it the late 90s? I guess it was, to try and find other people that also had like uh mental health issues or whatever going on, um and needing to talk about it with someone, it would have been, I'd imagine, would have been significantly harder to find someone to talk to about it. Um, so yeah, it also makes sense from that point of view too. Um, that part of the film does make me very sad, though. Yeah, it's pretty sad. And yeah, that would make sense. Yeah. Um, yeah. Even back when I watched It's Horrible, what people have to go through, the world is unfair. Yeah, for sure. It's yeah, when I initially went to watching it, I didn't know anything about the support group part of it, end of it. Like the only thing that I knew about it was that there was an underground fight club, and that also the twist at the end with the hallucination and everything. But yeah, I thought that yeah, it was quite like a jarring way to start the movie too. So I was just kind of like uh a bit flabbergasted, I guess, as I was watching it. Like, wow, this guy is a little bit crazy. But yeah, I can see the other way of looking at it, of that he is like also looking for genuine ways to release his negative emotions. Um, it's cool how he is the cool Chad, Tyler Durden. Yeah, I think it's an interesting dynamic the way they uh, try and sell that, like Tyler is kind of like um, is Tyler the Ed Norton's character or Brad Pitt's? Because uh I was gonna say Brad Pitt's character is very it's interesting because it kind of treats it like he's the guy that you kind of like the mentor character. Um, oh, okay, yeah. Tyler Durden is Brad Pitt's character then, yeah. Um, shame he blows up the building. Yeah, I was quite surprised by that, and then it just like ends afterwards. I also thought when he shot himself in the head that he would, die, but um, yeah, it was a very strange ending. In general, even though I knew how it was going to end, I still felt like it could have, like, well, I mean, it was a weird movie in general, but I feel like the ending was just a bit like abrupt. Yeah, I don't know. It was a bit mad. Um, yeah, but anyways, I've had this paused for a while. But yeah, it's yeah, the I keep saying yeah, but normally I edit that kind of stuff, like the breaks between my words, out on podcasts and stuff. But can't really do that live. So uh when he blows the building up, it is pretty crazy. That, oh man. Oh, at least it wasn't all the way back to the start though. That we take what we can get. Um and this bit's fairly well. I mean, it was at one point what I thought to be the hardest part of the game, but now it's just the most tedious part of the game because I looked up strategies and stuff. Um, so basically, the strategy that I saw, or the strat as they called it, um, to basically get on top of this rock and then wedge the thing on the left, and then you drag yourself up so that you can swing across to that light, and then you drag yourself and do other stuff. But I just prefer to jump up to this light instead of what the rest of the strat says, because I think it's just more effective. So I kind of put my own little spin on the strat that I saw. And then this bit I just kind of swing randomly, because I feel like that's the best way to get up to the top. And once you get past that black little metal bit, you're kind of golden then, because well, I mean, I know I did just eat my own words there, but once you kind of get a little bit further on, like here, it's a lot easier to get a grasp on the other bits than it is the skinnier bits underneath the black bit. So oh yeah, I like the fact that they kind of trick you into thinking that there's like nothing down there, and then you just fall onto this this barrier thing. Well, I mean, you can slide off it, because that's kind of the main part that I slide off. It seems. Oh man. Okay, I'm gonna check the chat for a sec. Okay, cool. But yeah, I've been pretty addicted to this game. But yeah, I'm excited. Whoa, oh man. Okay, that was... At least it's not all the way back to the start, like at the very bottom. Like there's a few bits there that... it's not... You know, like it's not all the way back at the bottom, but it's still a fair bit of progress, I guess. But I feel like what I was saying earlier is like the time that you put into this game, even though it's designed for you to continually go back to the start, you still like can get to the end a lot quicker, because you kind of learn strategies and just like learn the mechanics as you go and become better at it over time. So like that bit there, I feel like I said it earlier, but like I don't really get too bothered by falling down from that high up, because it isn't that high up. Because I know that I know the strats and the techniques, I guess, to find my way back up again. And it doesn't take too long. Oh, I was right on top of the so the other strat for this bit that I was talking about earlier, the guy suggested dragging yourself up like this and then going on top of this light so that you can grab on to this light, and then you just kind of go from there. So it would have been more like that than what I did earlier, which was just like pull myself up from the first light, but or jump to the next light from the first light, I guess, is a more accurate way of describing it. But yeah, I'm excited to get the PC so that I can have like some kind of way of seeing the chat come in easier. Oh man, I'm just kind of hitting this now like a construction worker or something. But yeah, that was so funny that someone thought I was AI. Yeah. But it is scary though to think that like it's really hard to distinguish between like a human and an AI now. Like I know obviously my the way that I sound, I guess, is maybe because it's like less energized than the average person. In my voice, it's bound to sound more robot like and AI like, but I think generally the fact that it's like this person was convinced even after the verification was given from someone else that I'm a real person, it's like, dang, AI is like just advancing, man. It's yeah, it's I don't know if it's a good or bad thing, because I do feel like the AI uprising will come, you know, like why, like like it sounds mad, but I genuinely think like why are these tech companies and stuff putting money into what they know could effectively be a threat towards them in the future? Like why try and progress past iPhones and stuff? Like we kind of we peaked there. Let's just focus on making them you know, making the screens not crack or something, instead of making like artificial intelligence and creating sentient life forms that are going to one day destroy the planet, and take over, possibly. I don't know. I mean, I don't buy into like conspiracy theories or anything, but it does, like generally, but it does seem to be headed that way. Headed that way, yeah. I just realized I repeated something that I said because I thought that didn't sound right, even though you'd hear it fine. But that's just because when I record the podcast, I have this habit. Well, I guess it's a habit now, but when I record the podcast, I have this thing where if I think that I said something weird, I'll say it again clearer so that I can cut it in, splice it in editing to make it sound like I'm more clear in what I'm saying. So I just did that to try to think like, oh, I'll fix it later, and then I realized, oh no, this is live. Like I can't do that. So I think this will probably streaming will probably help me with on the spot, like not having to do as much in the editing chamber when I'm finished recording. That was very close. Okay, just gonna. I need to learn to like go slow with this. I feel like I very much just kind of do what I just did there, where it's like, and there, where I rush into it too quickly and then just immediately fail. See, I feel like once I get a grip on the oh man, once I get a grip on like the edge of the rake, that's like, well, not like to the point where it's like the exact edge, but this is like too far in, so kind of have to wiggle. That's good. That spot right there, and then you can get onto the slide. So that's why I keep falling. I feel like is whenever I reach the oh man. The other thing about this is the further up you go, if you fall, the more likely you are to fall further down, because there's like less leeway room, I guess. Like there, I could have, because I was higher up, I could have gone all the way down to through the barrier bit, not like clipped through or glitched through, but just like past it, slipped past it, I guess. But yeah, this bit is like the main bit of contention for me, I guess. Ooh. But I think this game is probably easier on trackpad, to be honest. I've never played it on mouse, but I have heard that the controls are janky from like people who have played it on mouse or with a mouse. So I feel like using it with a trackpad is just good. It gives you more control. I say that as I fall back down to the start, but I'm gonna check the chat now. Okay, cool. I didn't realize I've been going for an hour 55. That's crazy. That's the other thing about this game. I thought I was playing it for like 30 minutes the other day, and then I looked at my playtime and it was like 4 hours on Steam. Because it only felt like 30 minutes, I guess. The game has the illusion of progress, and then I guess it's just like if you told me an hour 45 minutes ago that I would just fall back down again to the start and have to do it all over again, I'd kind of be like, I guess disappointed, but also not necessarily surprised. But it would also mean that for that next hour 45 minutes, I'd be playing it knowing that it's like going nowhere, and I'd probably play worse as a result. But I guess that's kind of the point of the whole game, is to overcome that sense of like wanting to quit. Just oh, that could have been bad. But that sense of wanting to quit because of no sign of like progression or anything. But man, I spent hours on that bit before I learned that strategy. Oh, I fell down again. Like, I didn't want to look up tutorials initially, but then I was just like, I've been stuck on this bit for so long, I'm just gonna look up like some kind of strategy to get past it. And luckily the one I found one pretty instantly that was pretty helpful. Although I did just fall back down. So I actually keep forgetting that the guy is on the screen, the Lego guy, because it's not on my screen because I don't have the stream overlay kind of thing. I don't know if that's even something you can do. Is like have the stream like chat and stuff overlaid on your screen at the same time as you're playing the game or whatever. But I guess it would be a bit distracting, maybe not the chat, but more so seeing the guy that the whole time, for me in particular, like as the person playing the game. I mean, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with the PNG guy, or the PNG tube concept, because I wanted to get back into streaming, but I obviously, well, not obviously, but I can't use a webcam at the moment because my room would be too dark. You wouldn't be able to see me. So PNG tubing is the next best thing, I feel like, because VTubing you can spend so much money on models and stuff. PNG tubing you could literally have like the like Pepe Frog meme, and then have a picture of him with his mouth closed and his mouth open, and just alternate between the two of those, and get the software that I'm using for free, and then just have that as your image, and then it's like a substitute for using a webcam. So it's pretty fun. Like I was tempted to just use like some kind of funny image or something instead, because it does look kind of funny, or pretty funny, but I did think it would make more sense to just stick with what I had envisioned for the PNG tube model, I guess you could say. But I might do a doodle one day and draw a better one, but for now I think the Lego one makes sense. It was a bit sketchy though, I feel like, to try and figure out how to do the software, or how to install it at least, because you have to like type a bit of code into at least for Mac, to set it up. You have to type this code into, it's only because it's like an independently made software, I think. It seems to be like it didn't put a virus on my computer or anything, so it seems pretty safe. But yeah, I've never had to do that before for software, so it was an interesting thing, and set off a few alarm bells. But I thought people are vouching for this, so I'll see what it has to say. I'll hear it out. And luckily it paid off in the end. Oh, I just closed my phone that has the chat on it. Just gonna I have my phone plugged into the same sorry for all the noise. I have my phone plugged into the same adapter that I have my microphone plugged into, which is plugged into my laptop or my MacBook. Oh, sorry for bumping the microphone. But yeah, it's plugged into the same like little adapter thing, because my MacBook doesn't have USB ports. It has like the smaller USB, a different type of USB port thing, because Apple just kind of wanted it to look more sleek, I guess. I don't know. it looks less bulky when there's no USB ports. So I got the adapter to be able to use USB ports with my computer and SD card slots and stuff. And I actually got one when I first got the computer, but then that broke recently, so I got a new one for Christmas. They're pretty cheap too, so it was like a stocking kind of a thing. But it's working pretty well, and I also this one probably won't break like the other one did because it's kind of different. Like it goes into the laptop with a cable instead of just going straight in, as kind of like the other one was kind of like a USB stick in the sense that it just goes straight into the laptop, and then when you have wires in the adapter, when it goes straight in like a USB stick, it's gonna have gravity is gonna be an issue, because at a certain point it's gonna get too heavy to be able to hold itself up, because it's ever so slightly elevated off the ground, or off the table when it's plugged in. So to use the USB port, well, that was kind of clean. But to use the USB port, dang, that was clean. Anyways, to use the USB port, it put more weight and tension on the adapter, the old adapter that I had, so it broke basically. But now it is, I got a new one and it's working better. The only drawback is I didn't realize it had 2 USB ports instead of 3 compared to the other one. So now when I'm animating and stuff, I won't be able to charge my phone at the same time, because I have one USB port for my lamp that lights the set, and then one USB port for my webcam, and then maybe a third for my phone if it needs to be charged. So that's the only drawback to the new adapter, but I guess because it goes in by a wire, I don't know why I said it like that, but because it goes in by a wire, I could get a second one and then have 4 USB ports, because there's 2 slots for the wires to go in. It's very hard to explain when it's not like if you could see what I'm trying to describe, it would make more sense. But yeah, I also never, on my channel or anything, well, yet, I haven't talked about Lego Fortnite, or addressed it at all online or anything. And that was partially because I didn't know about it for a little while, until like a few days in. Probably when like Bricks in Motion did their stream of playing it, or maybe a bit before that, like a day before or something. But before that I didn't know that it was a thing. And then I recorded my my kind of 2023 retrospective episode of the podcast, the 2.5-hour recording. Yeah, the 2.5-hour recording podcast, which I whittled down to 1 hour 15, and then I lost my train of thought when I fell there. it's hard to commentate about something unrelated to the game while also playing the game and then commentating about the game. Yeah, streaming's a lot harder than I remember, but I guess I was doing it with other people at the time, which meant that it with like my siblings, which meant that they could have maybe read the chat while I played the game and like kind of doing a or vice versa, kind of like working in as a team, I guess, a team effort kind of a thing to oh, sorry, I'm getting distracted by the game again. But yeah, working in kind of it was kind of a team effort, which was fun to respond to the chat and stuff, and it was quite fun too to see the kind of messages that would come in, like if someone thought that we were AI, which didn't happen at the time because AI wasn't as advanced. But also, I went on a rant earlier about how I feel like AI is going to take over, and even before that, well, that was prompted by the person calling me an AI person, but even before that, I was talking about how I feel like AI is going to, or AI, I want to try out this AI software for stop motion videos and animation in general, where it like adds more frames in between the animation to make it look quote unquote smoother. And I went on a rant about that, and then the person still thought I was an AI. Pretty funny, but maybe they're just trolling. I don't know. Also, I don't think people are really, or AI in particular, AI, not people. I don't think they're. I don't think people are allowed to program them to disclose that they're not AI, like to outwardly go against them being AI, if that makes sense. Like Snapchat tried that with the my AI friend thing, and they got a lot of backlash because it's a very dangerous thing for this software to be telling you that it's a real person, and then like for I didn't use it, but I feel like if I was in like a bad enough headspace, or a lonely enough headspace, I feel like it can really be like a crushing like something that'll make that isolation feel a whole lot worse when you have this robot pretending that it's your friend, essentially, or pretending to be a real person. So I think that was a pretty crap move on Snapchat's part. So yeah, they did face backlash for that and have since changed the My AI to explicitly state that it is an AI model. Not a model, but like not a model, but why am I saying model so weird? Not a model, but like a piece of software that is in a computer responding to what you're saying. Sorry, that was my water bottle making noises again. But yeah, I miss streaming. It's been such a long time. it's nice to get back into it again. Oh, I just bumped the microphone. Probably not the best time of day to be streaming because people are probably busy and stuff. Like, I feel like the ideal time might be like 5 to 7 to like maybe 5 to 10 p.m. I don't know, or 5 to 11 p.m. 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. because you know people are going to be awake during that time. At least in my time zone. Oh, okay, I can still come back from this. Okay. I was also thinking about this like yesterday, but I was thinking, is the reason that I'm not really like as angry as like I know, like I was saying, YouTubers inflate their reactions for content, but at the same time, like when I was watching people play this game, they were like reacting to it as if it was like a lot worse than it actually feels when you fall down and have to start again. But like I was thinking like maybe that genuinely was like the zeitgeist at the time of just like, this is something that is novel because it tests your patience, and that's novel. But I feel like now the zeitgeist has kind of shifted to because of the pandemic and everything happening, people not really seeing it as big of a thing, you know, like rage bait and stuff like that. Like this particular game being rage bait, and it's and a similar game called Only Up that came out I think this year, which kind of copied this game's kind of premise. But I feel like that kind of content, it still has its place in like the gaming space and stuff because it is rage bait and that's gonna get clicks. But like, I feel like the general consensus has kind of shifted to like, come on, this is like, we've been through the rage bait stuff already, to a more extreme extent. This doesn't seem as novel as it did back then. So maybe that's why this game is so cheap now, and why the price is going down. But I guess also, the older a game gets, the cheaper it's going to get, unless it's like Skyrim or GTA or something, GTA 5, or Minecraft. Actually, I think the price of Minecraft has gone down, because I know the last time I bought it for something, it was like 20 quid, and when I would have bought it before that, it would have been like the normal game price range. Oh man, I made it past the rake and everything. I'm gonna check the chat while I'm down below. But oh yeah, I was saying earlier about podcasting, about how oh man, just about how you can put or just any kind of art form, I feel like you can put a lot of stake in the idea that you can kind of, that like the amount of work that you put in equates to the amount of views that you get. And that's just not really the case in today's world, unfortunately. You can put like zero effort, almost zero effort into a TikTok or a video and have it be the most viewed video of that month or that year even, and then you can have someone making something that takes a lot longer to make and it being maybe undervalued. I'm not trying to say I'm undervalued. It does feel like that sometimes with the content not getting as many views as I would have hoped, but at the same time that doesn't take away from the fact that I put the work into the content and learned something from it. But yeah, it is frustrating to see that people can just like pull out their phone, make a silly video, and then get way more attention than someone who puts genuine effort into their stuff. But that's not to say you can't make cool videos from your phone, because I've seen a lot of cool brick filmers and everything that make videos using like stop motion studio and cool people who make cool edits that take a long time to make in like CapCut and stuff like that. And whoa. Whoa. Okay. That was kind of getting a bit tricky there. I'll probably delete the VOD for this, by the way, because I feel kind of bad that I forgot to stop sharing my screen when I was promoting the stream, or when I went to promote the stream. Luckily, I caught myself, but yeah, I could have given away like a password or something. I mean, I didn't, but yeah, something could have gone wrong. I don't know. But hopefully Streamlabs will put in some kind of contingency for that kind of thing. So like, maybe it already has it. I don't know. I haven't streamed in a while, like I said, but if you like click on something that it knows is sensitive information, it could like black out the screen in the software or something. But it's also hard for a piece of software to recognize the difference between meaningful text that means a password and just a bunch of letters and numbers on a screen. So I don't know how they do that, but I feel like they could. If we can make AI almost indistinguishable from me, I feel like we can definitely make some kind of thing that protects your password during a live stream. Not that I leaked my password again, I didn't, but that was just somewhat of a shower thought that I didn't really have in the shower, but yeah, anyway. Oh, that was almost like flow state. kind of realized too, this is a weird side tangent, but I guess that's what streaming is for, but like or commentating about things while playing, while streaming. But as a side tangent, I realized I kind of get like blocked noses the same way some people can get mood swings. Like I just kind of get them during the day, and then or at random points throughout the day, and then they randomly go away again. So that's why if I occasionally sound nasally, that's probably why. Just 1 second. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting that the sound can't actually be heard by or the sound of the game can't be heard by the stream. But yeah, I'll zoom in on the chat for a bit. Actually, no, I don't want to like make anyone think that I'm trying to single them out. I'm not. I'm just thought I'd just look at the chat for a little bit. Let's see here. How do I add the chat? I tried this earlier and it didn't go very well, so yeah, we'll see how this goes. Adding the chat here. Okay. Clean. Make the size a little bit bigger. Close. And then I'll make it a bit smaller as well. And I'll put it underneath my guy. And of course you have to have the alerts on top. So little BTS there, active in the moment BTS. But anyways, that should work now. If anyone puts a chat in the thing, it should pop up on the screen. Not that I'd be able to see it though. I will see it on my phone if I look at it, but yeah, now you can see your own chats pop up on the screen as well as in the chat box. So unless it just doesn't work. The other thing about it too, I think it made my audio sound more echoey. So or something about something made my audio sound more echoey, but I think I fixed it before I started the stream. But if I didn't, that would be embarrassing. Oh man, I got distracted by thinking about bad audio. Okay, 1 second. Woody Janter has followed. Thank you for the follow. Dang, that was an hour ago now. That's crazy. I'm gonna write something in the chat as a test. So just say chat test and then pop it. Oh no, what's happened? Oh, I'm already logged in. What the heck? Oh man, I'm not giving away my password on stream. Okay, I'll do this, and then resize my guy for a second. There we go. You can have him stare into your soul for a second while I sort this out. Yeah, I don't understand why that's happening because I already have a I'm already signed in to Twitch, obviously, because I'm streaming from OBS in Twitch or on Twitch, and now it's just saying that I have to sign in. Oh, it's saying sign up. I'm on the wrong page. Oh man. But yeah, I'm already logged into Twitch, so I don't know why I have to sign in again to type in the chat. Okay, alright, let me see if I can log in. Okay, I'm back now. So, have to enter. Still trying to sign in. To enter a chat to test out the chat box. Excuse me. To test out the chat box feature. Alright, there we go. Now I am logged in, accepting cookies. Okay, gonna make that a bit bigger, I guess. And then I guess I don't really want it going off the screen or anything. Like, I don't want people's messages to get cut off. So I guess maybe a small bit smaller. Bring it down a little bit. Okay, there we go. I had to switch to the BRB screen for a second there, but back now. So, yeah, now the chat should pop up. Oh, I forgot to put the I forgot to put the game on the screen. That would have been embarrassing if I forgot to fix that. I don't remember what size this guy was before, but anyways. There we go. Okay. Back in business. Like the boss baby. Alright, 1 second. Okay. Anyways. Back to the game. Actually, I do have to take a drink of some water first. Okay, yeah, back to the game now. Oh yeah, another weird thing that happened while I was playing this game by myself and just kind of getting a feel for it, was I was listening to Spotify while, oh no, even mentioning it is bad luck now, it seems. But I was listening to Spotify while playing this game, and every time a certain song would come on, I'd fall back to the start, and I don't know why. It was could have been purely coincidental, but I just felt like in the moment that the song was like bad luck or something. But then I kind of realized it was like pretty much at the start of like certain songs. It happened multiple times for like specific songs, and it was always at the start of the song. And I realized it could have just been that by the time that song started playing, the processing power on my computer, because like I said, it doesn't have the best RAM on it, it has like 8 gigs. Sorry for the cough there, but yeah, it doesn't have the best processing power, so it could have been that oh man, it could have been that in between songs it took time to process both the game and the next song that was playing at the same time, and so the game lagged, and then I thought it wasn't lagging, so I messed up and fell back to the start. So I just thought that was interesting, that I was like, my immediate reaction was to place a more of a irrational thought around things. Not to say that everyone does that, but I feel like that for me would it tracks. I'm just kind of hitting the boat at this point. Or I was. I wasn't really moving anywhere. The key for this bit, I realized, by the way. Well, okay, so I'll explain my thought process on this bit as well. So this bit for the barrel, you have to get right in the middle of the barrel so that you can get launched up. Sometimes you don't have to be, but it is kind of like a guaranteed way